Every 40 seconds, a child goes missing in the United States. Some are found. Many are not. Tonight, we dive into America's most baffling vanishings, cases that left families shattered, communities terrified, and investigators grasping for answers. These are the stories that still haunt us. The disappearance of a child is every parent's worst nightmare. But when the trail goes cold, when no evidence is found, the nightmare becomes a mystery, one that may never end. Join me as we uncover 5 of the most haunting missing children cases ever recorded. And beware, some may never let you sleep the same way again. Here, we have Brandon Lawson. He was just 5 years old, bright-eyed, curious, and full of energy. He loved toy cars, cartoons, and fishing trips with his dad. In August of 2004, the Lawson family drove to Lake Houston for a peaceful weekend by the water. It was supposed to be a day of sunshine, laughter, and family memories. Brandon's father turned away for only a moment to check the fishing line. When he turned back, Brandon was gone. No splash, no scream, just silence. The place where he had been playing was empty. Panic set in. His parents called out his name, running up and down the shoreline. Within hours, search dogs combing the woods. Rescue teams arrived, boats scouring the water. For 3 days, the lake echoed with voices, sirens, and the desperate hope of finding Brandon. But there was no sign of him, not in the water, not in the woods, nowhere. Authorities launched a full investigation. Divers swept the bottom of the lake. Helicopters scanned the shoreline. Cadaver dogs searched mile after mile. Still, nothing. No clothing, no footprints, no body. The lake had swallowed its answers, or someone else had taken them. In the months that followed, whispers began. Some locals reported seeing a boy who looked like Brandon in nearby towns. Others believed he had drowned. But why wasn't his body found? Darker theories suggested abduction, an opportunist lurking near the family that day, waiting. None of it was ever proven. A family lake trip turned into a nightmare that never ended. If Brandon drowned, why wasn't he found? And if he didn't, then who took him? Somewhere, someone still knows the truth. But disappearances like his are not rare. In fact, one case, decades earlier, still chills investigators to this day. A young woman named Tara Calico, who set out for a bike ride and never came home. Tara Calico was just 19, a bright college student in New Mexico. She loved the outdoors, her morning bike rides, and had dreams of becoming a psychologist. Every day, she cycled the same 17-mile route. To her, it was routine. To her family, it was just Tara being Tara. Until this day, September 20th, 1988, Tara left home at 9:30 a.m. Her mother joked, "If you're not back by noon, I'll come find you." Tara laughed, pedaled away, and vanished. When Tara didn't return, her mother went searching. Hours later, she found a section of dirt disturbed, a skid mark. Then, Tara's Walkman shattered on the road. And finally, her pink bike. But no Tara. Police were called. Searches began. Witnesses later reported seeing a light-colored truck following Tara that morning. But no solid leads emerged. Days turned into weeks. The case grew cold. A year later, in Florida, a Polaroid photo surfaced in a convenience store parking lot. It showed a teenage girl, bound and gagged, in the back of a van. Many swore it was Tara. Others said it was someone else. To this day, no one knows the truth. If the photo really was Tara, what happened after the camera clicked? And if it wasn't, then where did Tara Calico go? Tara's case became a great obsession for true crime followers, especially after that disturbing Polaroid photo appeared. But it wasn't the last time a young woman would disappear under hauntingly similar circumstances. Fast forward to 2004, when a college student named Maura Murray vanished on a snowy New Hampshire road, leaving more questions than answers. Maura Murray was 21 years old, a nursing student at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, intelligent, athletic, and deeply loved by her family. She was also struggling with personal pressures, academic stress, relationship troubles, and recent legal issues. On February 9, 2004, Maura packed her car with clothes, textbooks, and alcohol, and drove north. No one knew exactly why. That very afternoon, Maura drove her black Saturn north toward New Hampshire. At 7:27 p.m., a local woman heard a loud crash. Maura's car had skidded off the rural road into a snowbank. The witness called police. When they arrived minutes later, Maura was gone. Her car was locked. The airbags had deployed, but there was no sign of her. Inside the car, police found an empty beer bottle and a box of wine. On the seat, printed directions to Vermont, and a rag stuffed into the tailpipe. But Maura's phone, wallet, and belongings were missing. Search dogs tracked her scent for only a few hundred feet before it vanished, as if she had been picked up by another vehicle. Hundreds of volunteers searched the woods, helicopters scanned the snowy ground, and investigators interviewed locals. But no leads emerged. The case quickly gained national media attention, with online forums and amateur detectives poring over every detail. Still, Maura's disappearance remained unsolved. Some believe Maura staged her disappearance, escaping to start a new life. Others insist she was abducted by someone who passed her car that night. Darker theories point to foul play, a stranger, or even someone she knew. Despite countless tips, no evidence has ever confirmed what happened to her. On a cold New England night, Maura Murray vanished into thin air. Was she running away? Or running from someone? To this day, her family still searches for answers in the snow. Maura's story is a modern mystery of vanishing footprints and unanswered calls. But long before her, another disappearance shook an entire generation. A case so strange, even fire could not explain it. Christmas Eve, 1945, the Sauter children. It was Christmas Eve, 1945, in Fayetteville, West Virginia. The Sauter family, George and Jenny, with their 9 children, celebrated late into the night. But when a fire broke out in the early hours, only 4 of the 9 children made it out. 5 children vanished. Shortly after midnight, flames engulfed the Sauter home. George and Jenny escaped with some of their children, but the stairs were blocked. The parents screamed, desperate to reach the others. But in less than an hour, the house was reduced to ashes. Yet when the ashes cooled, no remains of the 5 missing children were found. No bones, no traces. The coroner declared them dead, but the Sauters refused to believe their children had perished in the flames. The investigation raised more questions than answers. Witnesses claimed to see strangers watching the Sauter home days before the fire. George recalled threats from men connected to his outspoken views on Mussolini. The family's trucks mysteriously failed to start, and the phone lines were cut the night of the fire. Was it an accident or sabotage? In the years that followed, reported sightings of the children surfaced. A woman in a Charleston hotel swore she saw them. A tourist claimed they were in Florida with strangers. Then, in 1967, Jenny Sauter received an anonymous letter containing a photo of a young man resembling her son, Louis. On the back were cryptic words, "Louis Sauter, I love brother Frankie. LO boys, A9013 or 35. Were the Sauter children kidnapped that night? Did someone take them, leaving a burning house as a cover-up? Or did the flames consume everything?" Nearly 80 years later, the Sauter case left behind ashes and questions that never cooled. But while America was haunted by its Christmas mystery, halfway across the world, another disappearance would terrify parents and captivate a nation. 3 children, who walked into the sunlit beach of Glenelg, Australia, and never returned. This was on January 26, 1966, Australia Day, for the Beaumont family in Adelaide. It began like any other summer holiday. Jane, age 9, Arna, age 7, and Grant, age 4, asked their mother for permission to go to Glenelg Beach, just a short bus ride away. Their mother agreed, never imagining it would be the last time she saw them. The children spent the morning swimming and playing on the sand. Witnesses later recalled seeing them with a tall, thin, blonde man. He seemed friendly, playing with the kids, helping them dig in the sand. By the afternoon, they were spotted buying pastries at a nearby bakery. But when the bus returned home that evening, the Beaumont children never got off. The Beaumonts waited for hours, scanning every bus that passed, but their children never returned. Police were called, and by nightfall, the search was underway. Beaches, parks, and neighborhoods were combed, but no trace was found. The investigation became Australia's largest manhunt. Hundreds of volunteers joined police in searching dunes and drains. Witnesses described the tall, blonde man, but no one knew his name. Theories spread rapidly, from kidnapping to organized crime. Yet every lead went cold. Over the years, rumors swirled. Some claimed the children had been taken by a child predator. Others believed they were kidnapped by a powerful network. Letters supposedly written by Jane surfaced years later, claiming the children were alive and well, but experts declared them hoaxes. In 2018, police excavated a site linked to a local businessman, hoping to find remains, but nothing was discovered. To this day, the disappearance of the Beaumont children remains Australia's most famous unsolved mystery. 3 siblings vanished in broad daylight, surrounded by witnesses, and not a single trace was ever found. Who was the man on the beach? And how did he erase an entire family's future in a single summer day? The Sauter case left behind ashes and questions that never cooled. But while America was haunted by its Christmas mystery, halfway across the world, another disappearance would terrify parents and captivate a nation. 3 children, who walked into the sunlit beach of Glenelg, Australia, and never returned. From small towns in West Virginia to the sunlit beaches of Australia, these cases remain unsolved. Each disappearance left behind shattered families, unanswered questions, and shadows that still loom decades later. Perhaps someday, the truth will surface, but until then, they remain haunting mysteries. With children frozen in time, waiting for justice, which of these cases disturbed you the most? Do you believe any of these children could still be alive? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments section below. If you want more deep dives into mysteries, survival stories, and the unexplained, subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss a story. Together, we keep their memories alive. Also, if you ever have any suggestions for future videos that you would love, please comment below. Your insights and ideas are invaluable, and we encourage you to share them. Don't forget to subscribe for more content, unsolved cases, and intriguing stories, where we dive into more mysteries.